like that. Other than that, it's actually gotten worse.
Really?
There used to be more interest from men and you look at wedding bands, for instance. There used to be much more interest and higher value in men owning gold and precious metal wedding bands. So today, that whole precious metal wedding band category is still there, but it's slowly being eroded by the non-precious metal and non-alloy materials like silicone and rubber and things like tungsten and Zalium and ruthenium and titanium. It's eroding the precious metal business for men. So I would say overall, I don't know what the numbers are, but if we looked at the numbers, I would say precious metal in men's jewelry has definitely gone down in the last 5-6 years.
Right. Okay. And in terms of digital sales, online sales, I'd like to hear your thoughts on, the current status. Where is it going? In terms of, I'm interested to understand: are people really gonna buy very expensive jewels online? Because part of buying an expensive piece is also the experience of getting to the central London store, going there, spending like 2 hours there, trying everything, and then deciding for the one.
Right. Well, definitely, it doesn't. The online experience definitely does not replace the sensory experience that you get walking into one of these retailers, for sure.
Yeah.
And it will probably never. It probably will never, no matter how sophisticated the technology gets, probably will never be the case. But what these retailers have realized over the, let's say, last 5 to 7 years is that the online business does represent an opportunity for not generally just sales, but also.
Hello.
Can you?
I can't hear you anymore.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So it has a dual purpose. It's the education, introduction to the brand, what the brand is about. People may have heard of, let's say, Harry Winston, but nobody really, not very few people have ever experienced it. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So that's a way to educate and bring in the audience to understand the virtues of the brand. They do realize that there's opportunities also to sell. Once you have captured their attention, there's opportunities to sell. And so they curate products for sale. The higher end retailers will curate certain products for sale that they feel are their best sellers, things that are not the most expensive product that will transact easily over the internet and actually perhaps get a client in the store one day to see the rest of the assortment collection. So certain companies have done this really well. One is Tiffany. Tiffany's done a terrific job with their digital presence, and they're growing their digital presence tremendously. But on the other hand, Tiffany always had a direct marketing presence with their catalogs. So their catalog business was always a very strong part of their overall business. So it was easy for them to transition from catalog into e-commerce. When you look at stores like Cartier and Van Cleef and Winston and Bulgari, they really never had that catalog business. Had very little of it. So,
but isn't it also because Tiffany has sells to, let's say, to the average age of Tiffany customers is lower compared to Graf. I mean, I remember when I was younger, my friends were talking about my girlfriend, let's say, was talking about rather Tiffany than
So I think they have a ways to go for the online presence.
Okay, yeah. David, for the last part of this show, I'd like to discuss China as a market, as an opportunity for a high-end luxury jeweler that is not very big in China yet. How do you get to China and execute like a proper strategy to get into the market? Because my concern is that if you go to, let's say, to France, you know where to go. You know that you need to be in Paris, and you might want to be as Harry Winston in Cannes, and those probably are the two places you want to be. If you go to China, a tier 2 or tier 3 city might have, let's not say tier 3, but like a tier 2 city has a quite high income on average, and it has maybe, I don't know, 12, 15 million people. How do you actually choose where to be?
Well, it's not always easy, but I think part of the strategy is, of course, it takes boots on the ground and a lot of research and development, but it's similar. It has to be follow some of the tried and true formulas of developing a brand and growing a business, and in the luxury space anyway, is you have to create the desire. You have to create the desire for the brand, for the product. Sometimes it's the product first, and then the brand is then digested afterwards. And sometimes it's the brand, and then the product second. But in most cases, from what I've seen, heard, experienced in China, like in Japan, for instance, you have to start with some of those A locations. You have to be able to say you're in Shanghai. You have to be able to say you're in Beijing. Even it does actually help to say you're in Hong Kong, even though it's not. Hong Kong is very important. Hong Kong is a very important stepping stone to get to the client psyche in China. So some of those locations are really where you have to start. You have to have a foothold in order to start with education, start with promoting and such, to start to create the desire in some of the B locations. Because they're looking toward people in those B locations. They're looking toward the fashions and the trends in the A locations.
And marketing wise, how can you get to your customers? Like the people buying like those kind of jewels are, I would think, I mean 40-ish, 38 to 50. I'm talking about the majority. So usually people that actually have some money to spend and have also the maturity to spend on those pieces.
The audiences are segmented. You have to recognize the segmentation of the audience, and again, I'll start with the bridal market. The bridal market is the easiest. Of all of the segments to promote and advertise and to see any results, the bridal market is the quickest and easiest. Although it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of investment it takes, but that's really a great starting point, is the bridal market, because there's already a desire for bridal product. So you don't have to create the desire. You just need to educate and create the desire for something a little different, or something not as expected with the other brands. And that's usually a way to get into the consumer psyche as far as being a status product or a product that's worth consideration. And so through that bridal product starts to develop the brand image of what the brand is all about. And doing that through bridal magazines and websites and third-party endorsements is huge, as well as there's nothing that's going to fast-track a bridal business quicker than celebrity endorsement, especially